Раз, два. Я сюди за мечем прийшов.
Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it.
Чим займаєшся?
I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life.
Розказуєш про це місце.
Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you?
Що про село розповіш?
There are a few retired keepers living there. They might tell you about the good old days if you ask them nicely. There are also some refugees from north of the island, since we had nowhere else to put them. I don't really know much about what's going on in that place. I just make sure they have everything they need, more or less. You can always go see for yourself.
Біженці?
People fleeing from bandits, from the weirdness, you name it. I wasn't exaggerating when I said we were the last beacon of hope this far south. For these people, we are. Don't know how many more we can take, but that's a problem for another time.
Що за історія з затопленим селом?
It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it.
Там ще є щось цікаве?
Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know, ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish.
Виходить, ви покинули її?
What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want.
Цікаво. Що скажеш?
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer.
Дуже серйозне слово, продовжуй.
And I mean it! He's a know-it-all from Camelot, but the truth is, he doesn't know shit.
All of those academic types think they're better than us village folk, just 'cause they read a book. We've been getting by just fine without any of their crap.
Нічого ти так кажеш.
I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osprey to get it pulled out.
Ну, доволі таки розумно.
Sounds like horse crap. My grandma was smarter than your lot, and she couldn't even read.
She knew how to make a proper potion for toothache. If I were any good at mixing that stuff, I wouldn't need to deal with quacks like Heber.
I even gave him my grandma's recipe, but he said it was no good.
І чим він поганий, твій рецепт?
Don't know. Probably just didn't like that an old woman from a backwater village was a better healer than him.
Давай я з ним побазарю.
You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter.
Окей. Здорово, бухаєш?
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy.
Тут у чувака зуб боїться, скажеться, що ти йому не допомагаєш.
Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting.
А якось це полегшити.
He's not dying. He has a toothache, for crying out loud. A physician's duty is to treat an illness, not its symptoms. Of course, I could give him something to ease the pain, but there's no point if he doesn't get rid of the underlying cause.
А про засіб?
Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already.
А можна мені рецепт?
No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients.
А і що це за потенційно небезпечні інгредієнти?
Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this.
Так що, якщо змішати самогон, вас дико шепілює, отримують ці ліки, так?
What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me.
Допомога потрібна?
Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do?
Joel, мені потрібно качатися. І бути на доброму рахунку інді так.
Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans.
Типу того.
Understood. It's a good reason. Well, I'd say it's better than most. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods.
А докладніше.
Back at the academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm?
А яка у тебе мета?
That is an excellent question. But I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word.
Чого сам не підеш?
Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there.
Та можна його був кислим, де навіть і без лимона. Так, напав спали усіх друїдів у плетеному.
And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead.
Добре, займусь. Те, що ти захоплюєшся друїдами, нормально?
In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? Nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit of their knowledge. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me.
Той рецент, як ти бубнів підніс.
Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it.
На собі?
Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patient something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself.
Божевільний хіба не іронічно?
What irony?
Це небезпечно.
The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know and how insignificant you are to the world.
Ну, давай я спробую. Бухать так бухать.
Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. What will happen, I have no idea. But please, tell me, if you live to find out.
Не любиш місцеві засоби?
I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south.
А чого ти хочеш?
Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though.
Тобі поспати.
I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group.
А поділиш рецептом?
Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups.
А чого ти не хочеш знати, щоб всі знали?
There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose or endure it. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky. Well, they already trust my word, and I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking. Healing diseases, sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone around here. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out.
Раз, два. Ну. Раз, два. Добре. Далі. Зайвис. Інемо. Ах, нехай залишається. Такий собі амулет. Потім продам.
You lost, or what? You all right, newbie? Have you been to see the refugees? I can't believe poor Cole was put in a cage. Hey, what a mess. Cole came to us with a shelter from, well, everything that's been happening here. Bandits, the weirdness, the Del Reader, hunger. I was happy Fergus let them in and allowed them to stay. You'll meet them in the village. They live in the buildings up high. Not long ago, though, Cole started acting very strange, erratic, sometimes even aggressive. One of our keepers, old Mahon, tried to calm him down. He might have used too much force, and Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit old Mahon. And since then, the old fool has been lying in the infirmary. Frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. They shouldn't have put that poor man in a cage. Wait, if you ever meet Patrice, please give her those flowers. I know it's not much, but I'd like her to know I support her and the other refugees. And I'm sure there are more of us who do.
Окей, передам ще ж.
Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Amer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work.
Ти маєш на увазі Фьорос?
Huh? Ah, yes, of course. So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the stale lamb? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when more arrives. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in? For the sake of our long friendship?
Дивний ти, ну ще тобі треба.
You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Say you understand.
Три розумію з трьох.
Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Ron's, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem.
Окей.
Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around. You're back!
Угу.
I should stay out of trouble.
Та дочь.
Watch the feet.
Які ноги.
Your feet. And my priceless seedlings. I swear your nosiness will be the death of you.
Нічого не треба.
I have everything I need. And you, the fly in the ointment.
Та я тільки сюди прийшов.
I'm Owen. And this is what I do here.
А навіщо тобі на даху сад?
It's safe. I can keep an eye on it. And I can chase off the seagulls. And when the weirdness comes, and the dead start rising up from their graves, then a rooftop garden will be much safer than one on the ground.
Ти такий привітний. А сильно чеки докучають.
No, I can handle a few seagulls. I'm not like that idiot Gwilyn.
А навіщо сад, якщо ти все одно нікого не пускаєш?
I let Rark in. He doesn't talk so much. He's my best friend.
Найкращий друг, так ти ж з ким балакати не хочеш.
My hoe in your skull would be worth 1,000 words.
Такий привітний.
Always. You need to talk to plants to help them grow. I'm not going to waste my breath on people.
The less attention, the better. You
What?
bloody seagulls! Can you hear me, you flying vermin? Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want?
Чо-то ці таячеки тебе бентежать.
I'm fixated. Me! Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago.
I was just standing watch as usual, and then, suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So, I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4, splat, and they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words.
Напевно, їм не сподобалось, що ти про них кажеш.
And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that? I don't think so. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is.
Давай допоможу.
Oh, thank you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson and keep away from me.
І хто про чайок цих знає добре?
I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. But there is one guy in the museum. Riderick. He's supposed to know everything.
Йдемо далі. Здорово.
Were you at the pledge? I didn't see you.
Я тут нещодавно покупюсь.
Yeah. Victory over health. Honor over life.
Тобі допомогти чимось?
Yeah. Bandits, tribes, sodom all. Sleep, damn it, is the worst son of a bitch I ever fought. No sleeping, no. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve, not...
Скільки ти не спиш?
I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day. Sometimes 20. Besides, a true keeper doesn't sleep. He keeps watch. The Old Mother will reward me after I'm dead. But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes.
А просто попросити не можеш?
What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Good stuff.
Здається, тобі треба поспати.
Shows what you know. Once more, call to this glorious service by the grace of the sea. Sir.
Да, ступить чел, явно ступить. Поки туди не стрибаємо ще раз.
The less attention, the better.
погано. Ай буде.
You need something?
І повалясь в казармі до ранку, щоб депі себе розбіглися. Давай, давай. Здорово.
What do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. We don't admire here. We punish. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be intimidating. Grrr. So the prisoners are scared of me.
А що тут? Ха! Ех! Тисячі 200. Да. Буквально битися руками.
Hello.
Тут є цікавий.
Usually, it's nothing but interesting, folks. I'm telling you, in these crazy times, every one of them comes in with some wild tale. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've got my books. All my adventures are in there these days.
Як для тирещика доволі таки задоволений.
Because I am. I asked for this post. Just to get some peace, quiet, and warmth. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls. And none of that cursed biting wind. I'm telling you, it's heaven. And I get to read my books too. So if you've got anything interesting, I'd be glad to trade. Safe travels!
Це не можна. Допишу попався.
Who are you? What do you want? I don't recognize your face.
А, що сидиш ходити?
I am. They told me it's for my safety, and the safety of others. I don't like it. The keep is supposed to be my home, and yet here I am, locked in a damn jail.
Що сталося?
That cursed madman from the refugee group bit me. I think his name is Cole. The boys told me he's locked up in a cage now. Good. That's the proper place for animals like him. By the All-Mother, if I'd known he was carrying some foul disease, I wouldn't have gone near them.
Пиши, що з тобою коїться.
Damned if I know. Whenever I've had a fever or cold before, I could always explain it. But this, I can't find the words. Sometimes it feels like I'm fading away. Like the part of me that makes me who I am is disappearing. I don't know how to describe it. And there's a voice at times. It calls to me. Each night it draws nearer.
О, що за голос?
Like a dreadful howl. Not at all human, that's for sure. At times, I hear our words within it. But more often, it's like a noise from deep within the bowels of the earth. Like something very wicked.
Чому тобі допомогти?
The medic and that red priest both came to see me. Both shrugged, offering no cure. Heber says I should wait. But if you've got anything stronger to drink, I wouldn't say no. It might ease the pain. Even just for a little.
Навряд чи тобі допоможе.
Then why did you bother asking at all, eh? Hold fast.
Давайте цю кашку заберемо тут. Здається, мені що вона мені ще згодиться.
Hold.
Ладно. Прикрий, щоб не дуло.
Hope nothing bad happens.
Шаніг, хто перший вступив на Авалон за наказом Артура, той, хто поклав шлях для короля та його вірних подданих, слава і честь засновникам ворогів півдня. Так, овеча голова, це риб. Ось.
Blessings upon you, stranger. May the word always resonate within your soul. Certainly.
Мені якось благословення вистачить.
What do you mean, my child?
Давно ти не бував на острівній лікарні?
Indeed, my child. I have served in the horns of the south since I turned 20. So, it's now my 40th year in the service of Kai and this noble abode. As for the asylum, I only know as much as my brothers deem necessary to relay to me in their letters. I only receive reports on their progress towards curing the Red Death. I'm afraid that I simply cannot believe your blasphemous words without proof.
Ну, можеш вірити, що хочеш.
So it's your word against the word. Let's leave it at that.
А що скажеш про Марвел?
It's a sickness, a corruption, but also a mystery. Many of my brothers would call it a curse, a stain upon Avalon that must be purged. And yet, I wonder, did Kai not teach us that all things have a purpose? That even suffering carries wisdom? The weirdness twists and warps, yes. It consumes and it takes. But it also gives. Life grows in its wake. Strange and terrible, but life all the same. If we are to fight it, we must first understand it. And that is what frightens the Church most of all. Understanding.
Готовий проти бараня битися.
As prepared as any men can be against something they barely understand. Swords and fire will hold back beasts, but what of the creeping rot that twists flesh and mind alike? But there is one thing. The Excalibur they keep here. It has not been wielded in an age, yet the weird does not creep near it.
Як?
Well, even as it rests upon its pedestal, the air around it remains untouched. The tendrils of corruption that strangle stone and steel refuse to claim it. The keepers may not see it for what it is, but I do. There is power in that blade. Something ancient, something beyond the Church's teachings. And if it truly holds back the weirdness, then perhaps it was never meant for men alone.
Тож то ти ніби в безпеці?
Safe? No. But safer than most, I suppose. But tell me, what is safety, truly? A stronghold? A weapon? A prayer? I've seen men with all three fall just the same. So no, I do not feel safe. But I do feel watched. And sometimes that is enough. May Kai's word always guide you. In the word, you will find solace.
А ось і він.
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me.
Виходить, там твоя частка.
Yes, the sensation is unmistakable, but it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy.
А чого я не можу його витягнути?
A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Ох, і помер.
What a nice day.
Здорово.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole.
Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened?
Багато тебе відвідувачів?
Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe?
А, я сюди по фібулі зайшов.
Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you.
Впізнаєш?
Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you.
Тяжі зачинилися?
Yeah. After we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Virgus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink.
Це почалося з якого ледового цирку, що ти маєш на увазі?
Sometimes I wonder, you know, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. It took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Yes. That damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories.
Я щойно перебув, розкажи про цих розбійників.
Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villages started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too.
Дальянці захопили храм при матері.
That's... I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either.
А щось тут хороше взагалі відбувається?
I heard that Dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything.
Якась є робота?
Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around, and now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either.
Певно, є, можна, є ж як.
Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I'd pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two, if you're willing to learn, that is.
Давай навчай.
Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you could bring it over so I can see what you've made.
З великою вирогідністю повозити водолину. Ти продаєш? Угу. Майдан. Так от пороботи дрова.
You think I don't see ya?
Если плакать.
You! Ah, shit. Another mouth to feed. Teargas must have been off his rocker if he thinks I can feed everyone with the little he gives me. I'm serious. If we don't open the keep soon, we'll have to start eating rats. Not that I can't cook them in a way that makes you think it's chicken.
It's
a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from the weirdness, but who knows, really? So now I have even more hungry mouths to feed. And since the captain ordered the letdown of our keep, the supplies are dwindling a lot faster than I'd like. Of course, I can make you 1,000 different dishes based on fish and groats. But come on, even the keepers need some variety in their lives.
Я виходжу за межі в фортеці, може тобі щось потрібно?
Wow, an adventurer are you? Ah, I'm good for now. But if you find something interesting, you can drop it off here. And, as a sign of goodwill, I'll allow you free reign of my kitchen. If you need to cook something, go ahead.
Ще ж кільком рецептів.
Oh, this is new. Maybe we'll get along after all. The dimwits here never want to learn. Only eat.
Я зустрів того Єгода і казав, що він твій друг.
Owen. Yes, he's my best friend. We don't even need words.
Він завжди такий відлюбкуватий.
Heck no. You should have seen Owen 20 years ago. He was sharp as a pin and could get anything done. If you wanted something, you went to Owen, and he always found a way to help you.
Змінилось?
Politics. What else? Owen survived 3 captains. One was terribly lazy. He just sat there like moss on a log and did jack shit. That frustrated Owen. Then there was another one. He was afraid of everything. So all he did was kiss Camelot's ass. And that blocked Owen's ideas to do something meaningful with his fish shack. And when it was finally Brandon's turn, Owen was already fed up with all this. It's funny, isn't it? First captain who doesn't mind introducing new ideas, and our local revolutionary has given up already. So now he just putters around in his little garden trying to find some peace in the twilight of his life.
Є тут щось, якась цікава кухня.
Oh, you're trying to piss me off, aren't you? If you don't like my food, then get lost. Go to Ron's Tavern and stop wasting my time.
Де це таверна?
In the fishing village. That's where the guards retire to sit on their asses and fart. Or sit, fart, and drink themselves into a stupor.
Схоже, що ти нас поспішаєш туди.
Hell no. I'd rather stay useful here and drop dead at my stove than waste space over there. If someone's still fit to work but chooses to laze around all day instead, they should be kicked out, not rewarded with free beer.
Продаєш? Ага, точно.
What do you think of scale armor?
Huh?
Scale armor. What do you think of it? The ones all the keepers wear.
Може, і краще, напевно.
Sure. Maybe it's easy to make and doesn't restrict movement, but it doesn't provide the best protection. Someone just needs to stab you between the scales and you're done for. Lamellar armor is much better. That will prevent you from being run through with a polearm or getting shot with a bow. It's also much more comfortable.
Ти про обладунки стільки знаєш?
I read a lot about it. In Volume 4 of the Armourer's Almanac, Arden Shadowblade describes the differences between various types of armour. For example, chainmail allows for a good range of movement, but it's heavy. It also provides poor protection against blunt weapons, and its production is laborious.
Ти не носив інших обладунків, які, крім таких, які на тобі йдуть?
No, but I have knowledge from books and a lot of thoughts on the subject, so I know what it would be like to wear different armour.
Хто це такий Аден Кліноптіді?
Shadowblade is a moniker. Arden is passionate about weapons and armour. He has great knowledge of materials, techniques, and history. A true expert. Everything he writes is interesting. I would love to meet him one day.
Чому ти іншим не скажеш, що пластичне буде краще?
I told them, but they both said I know jack shit. Besides, the keepers rarely go outside the walls nowadays. Then the quartermaster added that if I don't like our equipment, he could send me out scouting in just my underwear.
Тоді, може, більше про це не треба розповідати?
Perhaps you're right. But if somebody ever stabs me under the scales, I'll go straight to the quartermaster and give him an earful.
Даш, як це виконувати?
Oh, of course. I mean, I've never made one. I'm not an armourer. But I've read so much about it that I'm sure it won't be a problem. Here's the page from the Armourer's Almanac that explains the process.
Ага. Коротше, чел пише, що він намагався злизати з країни цей нагородник. Іначе в нього навіть вдалося.
Hey, tell me, can you read? Listen, I'm no good with words. Could you read me a letter from my sister? She's learning how to read and write. Can you believe it? She writes letters to me. I'm so proud of her. They always make fun of me for not knowing how to read. And Enid is still learning. I don't want them to make stupid jokes about her if it's bad. I know our village is in the arse end of nowhere, but it's not our fault no one ever gave a shit about it. At least now things are changing. Maybe my sister will have a better future, eh?
Давай почитай.
Oh, thanks. Here's the letter.
Брате, вийдеш, не вийде в нас погане. Приходили червоні житті, хотіли забрати маму інших людей, кажуть через чому. Батька те, що один чоловік не погодилась до чолспіка і тата вбили. Тепер я дбаю про маму, вона з кожним днем все слабше і слабше, ми не знаємо, чи повернуться червоні ніч чи що. Було важко, але мама попросила переказати, що любить тебе і що ти треба продовжувати жити, творити добро, бо це найголовніше. Це я Еніт, і я молюся за тебе.
And what did it say? Everyone's healthy?
Коротше, таке діло.
No, you must have misunderstood something. What do I do now? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I should go back to him, right?
Тебе спіймають, звинуватять в дезертирстві і стратять.
I guess that's true. Yes. Excuse me. I need to be alone.
Are you here to keep me company or put me out of my misery?
Huh?
Just kidding. I love the view, but this weather is killing me.
Тут завжди такий сильний вітер.
Always windy. Always moist.
Ти занадто легко одягнений, напевно.
You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers, whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay, and maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please.
І що ти хочеш?
Oh, aye. I need a warm coat, and I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh? Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days.
Добре, пошукаю.
Thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you.
What a nice day.
Я занакидую.
It's for Dan, isn't it? That ungrateful bastard's still on the wall.
Він все розповів.
Disagreement? Sure, you could call it that, and I guess I might have overreacted a bit. But since Dan is on the wall and I'm here, I couldn't tell him that I get it. The prank and all. And I forgave him a long time ago. And now that I think about it, it was a hell of a prank.
Так, а щодо накидки?
Well, I may not be angry with him anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll work my ass off so that his doesn't freeze. Here's an explanation of how to make it. Feel free to help him out yourself.
Ага. І зробимо. Ось тримай.
Oh, thank you, friend. Let me repay your kindness. Even though I don't have much, I can at least tell you about something I saw a little while ago. It might be interesting for an adventurer like you. See those rocks near the shore? When it gets dark, sometimes I see a light there. I'm no sure what it could be, though. A bandit camp this close to the Horns? Impossible. The Daliata? No way. They wouldn't hide like that. Maybe something else entirely? It's probably nothing, but maybe you could find something interesting or valuable there.
Дякую.
Farewell.
Ось як це поєбане життя. Я не можу.
The less attention, the better. Please, no trouble.
Если зарю твоїм рамком.
And?
Він передав кивнути.
Maybe you're not hopeless after all. Look, I'll give you some seeds and a free plot to grow whatever you want. In exchange, you'll let me have some peace and quiet here. Deal?
Ага.
The less attention, the better.
6 годин. Можна сміло поки що гуляти. Чи ти б на лавку сів на сіно?
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier?
Ти якийсь задумчивий, замислений.
Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, fish, and more fish. I could live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie.
Що сам не приготуєш?
As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses.
Згадаєш рецепт із бруби?
Really? Sure, I remember it well. Here you go.
Що там треба? А, можу почати зробити. Далеко не відходь. Ось.
Yes. Still tastes like shit. Exactly how my mother would make it. It's just what I needed.
Блін, а?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's just that every time I doubt my service in the horns of the South, I need a reminder of why I enlisted.
Мати не вміла готувати.
My mother wasn't much of anything, to tell the truth. She always said I was good for nothing and that I should be glad she even kept me. And every day she'd bring back home a new uncle. Many of those uncles like to kick me out of my own house when they were drinking and getting busy. Then, when she'd sober up and got rid of an uncle, she'd bake me that pie as an apology. It always tasted like shit. If the other villagers hadn't been feeding me, I would have starved to death. Hence the pie.
Що з матір'ю сталося?
I wouldn't know. When I left my village, I decided to never look back. So I just assumed one of those uncles finally beat her to death.
Важке життя. Треба більше не наливати. Оголчено гроту голову Сената Веледня. Востаннє бачили... Ага. Небезпечне вбивця. Ага. Ага.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business.
Награда для розбійників.
Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's your reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight.
Якщо знають про розвідчі, куди присилати війська.
The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it would end? Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it.
Їх вбили за те, що вони принесли людські жертви?
Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now.
Повністю винищили?
Most of them. The survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudyarg. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudyarg came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart.
Багато хто займається збором нагород?
None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers.
Якщо ніхто не буде на них полювати?
Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done.
Так, ці доволі таки небезпечні.
No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Ага, ще ви. І ще ви. Здорово.
Oh, mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like one of them. Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me.
Yeah?
I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already.
Ну, мене до капітана поки не пускають.
Right. What was I thinking? You wouldn't. You're new here, right? Shit. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for years now. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out either. Anyway, good luck to you. Come and visit if you need anything.
Можливо, ще то є як допомогти якось.
You do realize you won't score any points with the keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rule book.
Okay.
There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. I haven't heard from her in a while, and she was supposed to bring me some really precious cargo. Something the captain wanted me to arrange. You still up for an adventure, hmm?
Де її шукати?
My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beach near the whale's tooth. Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for Nest.
От дізнаюсь.
Good luck. And don't worry, I'll pay. No matter whether she's dead or alive. Just let me know what happened. And bring back the cargo, if she still has it.
Що ти таке?
Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there.
А що там у Тимберволі?
You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place.
Будеш повертатись додому?
I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes.
Я так розумію, ти про тих шраїв знаєш на стюту.
Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them.
Мабуть, багато можеш розповісти про свої мандри.
Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought. Until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just isn't in my nature.
Що продаєш? Ага. Угу. Тобі зброя. Раз десь ти среш. Ти сереш? Підйом, ворог!
What's happening? In the name of the old mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before.
Я подорожнім і сказали, у рохах я знайду безпечний притулок. Хоча я вже...
But we don't just let anybody in, pal. You need to have, things, proof. Things to prove you're safe. For Haven. Yeah.
У мене є горілка, я думаю, ми з тобою домовимось.
This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly at this, present moment, but it does look important. Very official. But I remember Fergus said something about all this, these emblems once. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person, on behalf of the keepers. You are a great friend to our home. Welcome. Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
І п'яний провідався, що капітана тут нема. Мені лапшого на вуха. Пішаючу. Проведуть до нього, проведуть, ага. Як завжди.
Always good to have a little rest.
А що можна зібрати? Мені здається, це просто будинок. Зверху поставили навіть без фундаменту. І він там на каменцях.
Hey, you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him.
Okay.
I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards.
Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world.
But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine.
If Heber doesn't know, then I don't either. So we keep trying. Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass. And I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him. Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horns. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail.
I
don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But, nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess.
Може, прошу стати хранити незалежний піку?
Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. Don't forget that.
If
I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. Stay out of trouble.
What do you want? To gawk at the beast? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My Cole is not the monster you all believe him to be. So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole, but you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole, but now we're all at the mercy of those damned keepers. One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here because things are hard for everyone. Hard? Sure,
I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep of theirs, thinking they're the defenders of justice. Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that before. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other men from the village, things could have ended very differently. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Jail cells are for humans. Bastards.
Ну, не набіл на місці після такого.
Surprising, isn't it? It seems that Quartermaster Fergus banned any kind of vigilante behaviour. And the local healer said he wants to make sure whatever made Cole this way isn't contagious. So as long as that question remains unanswered, we're at a standstill. But honestly, if anything happens to that keeper, I have no doubt Cole will be killed and will be thrown out of the keep.
Коли його стан плечо погіршив?
This might sound silly, but before we reached the keep, we came near a strange structure. The locals call it the Arch Spire. In the morning, we realised everyone had a strange dream, but it was a little different for each of us. Cole started acting weird after that, and in time it only got worse.
No,
only that, well, it didn't make much sense. But he was convinced that something bit him. He kept checking. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. That must have caused his fever, his insanity.
Можеш це описати?
Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Frank brought them back from one of his treks. That boy could always find them somehow. It was our protection from the night and the weirdness. Ellis was on watch that day, but from what he told us, he eventually fell asleep. We were lucky no one slit our throats. I was in a strange place. Dark, full of fog, eerie. I was trying to find him. I called out, but no one answered. I was alone in the night, and then I kept falling, and falling, and falling. And then I woke up. We set up camp near the Arch Spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that. Well, now I know why we could have been right. With everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world.
Ще сил, бо в мене вже сил немає це читати.